Recording.
Okay, so welcome to this Q&A session. We will be spending about the first half of the session focusing in on talking about the topic for today, which is around NVC and culture. That's not so much a presentation as a conversation, a discussion. We'll be using some breakouts and posing some questions and thinking together. And then we will use the second part of our time together for more general Q&A, and particularly related to the upcoming IIT, which is happening in Nairobi in April, and see whether there are questions people have around that. And we thought maybe just to kick us off, it might be helpful, since we are still a small group, to bring everybody's voices into the room, and to start off with a quick round of check-ins. So just to invite you just to say who you are. And I think the question that we're interested in is, what's brought you here today? What is it about this topic around culture and nonviolent communication that's particularly interesting to you, particularly exciting to you? What are you drawn to? And if we could keep responses to just a couple of sentences, I think that would help the flow so that we have more time to think about the topic. So maybe I'll start and then I will hand on to somebody else. So my name is Matthew. I'm originally from South Africa. At the moment, I'm in the Netherlands. Yeah, and I think I'm really, really interested in the topic of culture. I work a lot in international contexts. I also work a lot in organizations. And I'm really interested in what happens when people get together and try and do things together, and why that's sometimes challenging and surprising and productive. And I guess growing up in a country which is very multicultural and has quite a recent history of conflict, I think this has always been something that's really interesting to me, and that NVC has really enriched my understanding of. So I'm excited to explore that more with all of you. I'm going to hand over to Jennifer. Do you want to introduce yourself and say why you decided to come today?
Okay, thank you. I'm very happy to meet you this time in our country. This time it is 2 p.m. evening. So I'm very happy. And here. I'm very excited and I'm very happy because it is almost 2 years ago I've attended the NVC. So I'm happy what NVC is doing in my life. It has really, the NVC has taught me how to live with other people, how to be, when a person has wronged me, how to attend to that person. And even the NVC has really given me the information, and then I can do that, and I can implement the skills I've gained to NVC to other people. So today I'm here to listen and hear from you, because I love NVC so much, and I really appreciate you to accept me in this meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Do you want to pass on to somebody else on the call? Who would you like to go next?
I don't. I'm not. I'm complete.
Okay, that's fine. Why don't I call somebody? John Paul, would you like to go next? Here we go.
Yeah, thank you very much, team. I really appreciate for giving me this opportunity to explore my interest here. Well, first of all, I'm John Paul. I am from Uganda, and I'm very glad to be here today. Once again, I think this is my second meeting. Previously, we had a meeting 2 days back. Yeah, it was at 9 p.m. And today I'm here again. Much as I'm at work, but then I said I should get time and initiative to attend this meeting. I appreciate so much. Well, I want to take again this initiative to appreciate the organizers of this meeting, and consecutively trying to make us attend, and of course keeping more updates to us. So basically, the reasons why I'm here today, I am a continuous student. I want really to learn much about uh, NVC so much. I really want to learn, and of course also I want to come that side to Kenya for education. But then, as last time we attended the meeting, I explored my challenges. I said I was constrained financially, but I have a lot of interest to attend and to learn more about NVC. So, and therefore, that's why you see I'm attending always these meetings. I want to really get to know in details how this can be very okay and applicable in most especially today's community, in my family and my friends. I really dearly want to learn much, but I don't know how you people are going to help me regarding to come to Kenya and soon in April so that I may learn in details. As I said, I am constrained financially, but I'm looking forward to the ways to fight so hard to see how I can get my way to Kenya. But then transport is there, but other facilitations I don't really have because I am constrained. I really appreciate, and allow me pass back the microphone because very many people are here ready to speak.
Yes.
Thank you very much so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, John Paul. Perhaps we'll come back to that question when we get onto the Q&A. Ndidi, shall we go on to you? Where the question is, what attracts you about the topic of today, and what's drawn you here today?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I'm just recovering from the most beautiful IIT that we had in Nigeria, where we experienced Matthew in a profound way. And then already I have met Kristen a few times, attended her sessions. So I'm here because I'm attracted to the topic of needs and culture, and it is my curiosity to learn that is bringing me here. So I'm looking forward to this session, as well as sending my positive energy to Kenya as they take off the IIT. I'm complete. And
Thank you,
I
Ndidi.
pass on to Ahmed.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm happy to join with you today in this session. As you could see, I'm at home today. It's our holiday in Somalia. So I think let me give you a bit about myself. I am Ahmed Farah Khalil. I was born and grew up in Somaliland, which is the northern part of Somalia, a town called Hargeisa. I'm a university lecturer, and my background is mainly on conflict management, conflict resolution. The reason why that I applied this NVC is that I thought that maybe I'm not good at nonviolent communication, the way that I sometimes present myself or approach things are not uh, might not be uh, might not be that good. So I thought maybe it's a good way in order to improve the relations with my loved ones, family, friends, co-workers, and everybody that I interact with, is maybe to learn the basics of nonviolent communication. That's why I decided to apply. And also, I think that will also be beneficial to my society. As a Somali people, we consider ourselves as a bit more, you know, we are not that kind of easygoing kind of personality. So maybe it would be good to share the knowledge and the skills that I learned from this course to others as well, to my students and also to the community at large. So that's why I decided to apply, and I'm happy to be here with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you. I see that Elvis has written something. He says, "My name is Elvis Ndihokubwayo, the medical doctor. Very happy to be here and learn much from each other with needs and culture as today's topic. Passionate about nonviolent communication and healthcare, where currently patients live with trauma caused by doctors." Thank you, Elvis. Nixon, so we're going to you.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Nixon from Kenya, and I'm glad to be here today. For me, NVC is something that I'm passionate about, being in my line of field as a lecturer, where I deal with different genders and ages of people. So you'll find people with some with trauma, others who have had a very tough childhood. Some don't know how to associate with other people. So it actually triggered me to pursue a counseling course, just the normal psychological counseling, clinical psychology. So now pursuing NVC is something that will go a great way in helping me deal with this young generation that we are training. Yeah.
Thank you, Nixon. Paula, can we go over to you?
In a minute, please. I have a child here
Okay.
at the moment. So
That's fine. That's fine. We'll move on to someone else. John, can you hear us? John Amanya. Like John might be struggling to come in. So Mary Rose, let's go over to you. Mary, you're on mute. I don't know if you can hear us.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Good day, everyone. I'm happy to be with you. Looking forward to seeing you physically in Kenya, please God. Though I'm not yet sure, but I'm hopeful. So, yeah. NVC, I have been in touch for NVC, read the book from Rosenberg for 10 years ago, but of recent, participating in the trainings has helped me so much to know myself more, to understand myself, and to understand other people, being in touch with my need, and making a capacity to describe things that I'm looking at, hearing or seeing without putting judgment. And if I would want to put my interpretation, I make it clear that this is my interpretation. And I find that helpful in my relationship. So, and I know that there could be more. That's why with the attitude of Oliver Twist, I want to get more. it has helped me. It has helped me and helped people that I have shared with. So I'm hopeful to grow more through it and to get other people grow more.
Thank you. John, are you able to hear us now? You're on mute, if you are.
Yeah, I can hear very well.
The other John, John Amanya.
Thank you, Matthew.
Hi, John.
I hope everyone can hear me.
We can hear you, and the question was, what's drawn you here today? Why have you decided to come today?
Absolutely, thank you. So I'm also curious to learn more about NVC. You know, first when I joined NVC, it took me on a path of self-discovery, discover myself and the environment around me and the people around me. And so each time I come in the session, I'm curious to learn more. And so when I saw the topic needs and culture, I was more curious because culture influences our needs, whether they are going to be met or unmet in one way or the other. And so I come on the show very optimistic that it's going to impact my life as it has done over the times I've been attending the sessions. And so I'm with a lot of gratitude to be on board. And I know I'm going to take home much, much more. I'm going to leave the session better than I have joined, certainly. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, John. Ezekiel, you're on mute if you're able to hear us. Guessing maybe not right now. Oh, there we go. Ezekiel? All right. Can't hear you right now, so I'll go back over to you, Paula, if you're able to speak now.
I am, thank you. Hi, my name is Pavla. I'm from the Czech Republic in Europe. And why I am here is because I'm in training with Kirsten, who told me about this. And my main purpose is to meet other trainers as well. And I'm not, I think I'm not ready for the IIT yet, but maybe like next year, 2026, maybe. And also I work for 15 years now. I've been working in organization for aid to refugees. So culture is also one of my topic that I deal with.
Wonderful.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Ezekiel. Go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon. I am saying good afternoon because I'm currently in Kenya and it is an afternoon here. Maybe in your side, I don't know what is the time. It is a great pleasure to join this meeting. I happen to have met many trainers, many participants or people who have participated early in this NVC training. And we have interacted, and the way I've seen, the way they act and the way they have shown me love, I got impressed with the missions and the visions and the actions of the NVC. I happened to meet Christine. I happened to meet Amtru. I happened to meet Stephen Maina from Kenya, Joshua Petrova. And the way I have seen, and Stephen happened to tell me that this is what he learned. I sometimes ask him, my brother, how are you like? Because sometimes the way he takes me like a brother, the way we act each other, and I told him, where have you developed this culture of brotherhood? He told me, I happened to make this, and he introduced me to this. But by then I was a student. I didn't had enough time to attend the annual NVC trainings that used to be held in Nairobi. But this time around, when I've seen that when I've seen those links that the people are supposed to register, and I have seen my schedule is that by April I'm going to be there. I registered, and when I seen also that you sent me an email that we are going to discuss about culture, I feel very curious, and I said that I have to attend because I have seen the culture that you guys have cultivated in some people whom I happen to meet. It really shows me, it really gave me a hope that if I happen also to act or join this team, I will also be the same, or I will even be better than them. Christian and even Amtru have also been a good friends to me, and they have shown me a love. And I believe also with the culture, if I'm going to copy the culture or the culture of the NVC, I think I'm going to make a lot, and this is going to impact. This is going to be very impactful in my life, and I will even know how to live with the people around me. I am a refugee. I'm a Sudanese, but a refugee residing in Kenya, currently in Kakuma refugee camp, and here where we meet different cultures, different nationalities, and I think by attending this meeting, it is going to help me a lot on how to act around, or how to respect, or how to understand the cultures, or how to behave or to relate the cultures of different people. And that is all. Thank you so much for granting me this such a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you. Welcome, Ezekiel. So there are more people coming and going, but I think in the interest of time, I'm going to suggest that we move on. So maybe I'll hand over to you, Kirsten and Suda, if you want to introduce yourself, and then we can move into the first breakout. So Kirsten, over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Kirsten from Denmark. Right now I'm in India. So, and I have suggested this topic for our meeting because I am very interested in a non-violent culture. And I see that we have a lot of cultures around the world that are violent. And I just recently visited a big refugee camp in Bangladesh, where there's a lot to understand about why they are killing each other between two countries. And the same happens in many places in the world, in Africa, in Europe, we're also killing each other. And me living in Denmark, I can also look at the more, you can say, nice or not so dangerous parts of culture is like, for example, our Christmas tradition. In Denmark, we like to have a little tree that we put some lights on and that we sing around. And I think, is that a culture that is serving life, or is it actually wasting a lot of resources? And we just had New Year, and we also have this habit around the world, not only in my part, but around the world, of firing a lot of firework New Year evening. And I have this image that for the money we blew up that evening, we could feed all the hungry children in the whole world for a month, a year, I don't know. But these parts of culture that are so harmful to life and to needs are in our world, and they're also culture that are serving life, serving needs. Some habit of giving each other a birthday present, I think, is quite innocent culture to have. So this is me. I'm working around the world, meeting many cultures, and very much wanting to work for a non-violent culture where NVC plays a role. Thank you. Over to Sudha.
Yes. My name is Sudha, and I'm one of the trainers on the team for the Kenya IIT. I'm very happy to be here. I live in India. At the moment, I'm in Goa, the same place that Kirsten is in. I live in New Delhi, which is the capital of India. For me, this topic is very, very important because I think somewhere culture sort of conditions us to in certain ways. And I think somewhere the topic is inviting us to look at look at several aspects of our culture and to look and see as to what needs of ours are being met in everything that we do. So I'm excited also to hear about your views on this and wanting for us to move forward. So I think the question that we have for you is, and for us actually, what is culture for you? And we'd like to put you into small groups, have you in small groups, and for you to discuss with each other what is culture for you. So I think person has made the groups, and we have 15 minutes, and the groups are four groups of 4, Kirsten?
Groups of 4 and 5.
Groups of 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So think about this. What is culture for you? And also being aware that all voices are heard in the smaller group. Yeah. So being mindful of the time also. Are the groups ready? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So is there any question that you would like for a minute? I will put the question in the chat.
So I'm ready to send everyone off and let Zoom do its magic of putting you in just the right group with just the right people. So ready to go?
Where we are in relation to time, we think that perhaps we'd love to hear 3 or 4. We'd love for you to share 3 or 4 people to share what was discussed in their group. Very briefly, what was discussed in the group. What is culture for you? And could you raise your hand, either with your physical hand or your electronic hand? The electronic hand is there below on your screen, where you have the reactions as a heart. Mary Rose, would you like to speak?
Uh-oh.
I saw your mic was on, so I thought maybe you wanted to.
Okay. Yeah. In our group, we shared that culture is a way of life, the arts, music, way we speak, the way we speak, in totality, way of life. And we shared also that culture give us some sense of worth, and appreciation of our culture helps us respect the other culture. And we are aware that we shared too that cultures can culture can be limiting or liberating. And most of the time that what is limiting in the culture is not easily seen until someone point it out. Then awareness comes that. We have examples of experiences of our culture giving us life, and the example of limiting, what we see as limiting a factor in culture. Thank you. If any other person in our group would like to contribute, I suppose I'm speaking on behalf of the group.
Anybody from that group or any other group who would like to add?
Let me add to what has been shared from another group, we also believed that a culture is about identity. It gives identity to a group. If we lose our identities, like we are losing who we are. So it identifies us. And culture also enhances our habits, like the way we do things. So it plays a lot of role in our relationship with self and with others. You know, we bring our culture along as we live life. We give some examples of cultures, you know, for us in some places, you know, women do not speak before their husbands. No, that is part of a culture of some people. I'll leave it here so that others can contribute. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm hearing way of life, Mary Rose, respect for other cultures, and there are some limiting aspects of culture that was discussed in the group. Lady, your group talked about identity and about habits, some of the habits that we, and the way we carry for our culture along as we live our lives. Yeah, different aspects and the example. Thank you. Anybody else? Anything else that you would like to add?
Yes, I want to say from our group, I want to share.
Patricia, go ahead.
All right. I get to understand from our group that culture is the values, belief, custom, behavior, and practices of a group of people. You know, our norms and values, our way of communication, our customs and traditions. And of course, the arts and literatures, the music and dance, the food from each culture, a group of people is what makes us unique in our different ways. So I guess that's what I learned from my group. Thank you.
Values, beliefs, customs, traditions, and also music, food.
Hello.
Literature. Yes, Opolo?
Yes. Good afternoon once again. My network was so poor. You asked me about culture. Yeah, culture. What I know, culture is an atom that is past.
Sorry. Culture
is an atom that is passed in people from the generation to generation.
Okay. Right. Passed from generation to generation.
Yes.
To people. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I see.
You're welcome.
I see Sangwe, the last sharing that we'll have right now. Sangwe?
Yes, thank you. I'll list you a bit. I was going to say that culture has, I think, multiple role, yeah, in shaping our lives. I think some ways it's in profound. It's identity and belonging. Because do you receive me properly?
Yeah. Yes.
Matthew, would you repeat that, please? I'm not able to hear from.
Okay, I was saying that. Yes.
Go ahead, Sangwe. Go ahead, Sangwe. Yes.
Yes. I was saying that culture serves as multiple purpose, shaping our life in profound ways.
Right.
As example, it is the main definition of culture on our own, because culture provide a sense of identity and belonging,
Right.
connecting us to our roots and giving us. Secondly, I think it's communication and understanding, because culture influences how we communicate and express ourselves and maybe interprets the world around us. Do you get my point?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
There's another point. I think culture is also social order and cooperation. Maybe adaptation and civil as well, or creativity. As an example, in Burundi, we have, I'm from Burundi, by the way, and in Burundi, we have royal drummers, and it's among our culture, our Burundian culture. So I think creativity and the expression also is culture, because it fosters creativity and self-expression throughout art, music, dance, and other forms of cultural expression. Yeah, I think it's all for me.
Thank you.
Thank you for those descriptions of what culture means to you. Samuel, I'm going to ask you to please hold on, and we'll continue, and maybe the next question would possibly be something that you could answer.
Okay.
What we're inviting you to do is then, what is it in your culture that is serving life? Can you think of 3 things in your culture that actually serves life, in the sense of it meets many needs of yours? And what could be 3 things in your life that perhaps does not serve life?
Things in your culture.
Things in your culture that does not serve life, where some of your needs are not met. Things that happen in your culture that is not life-serving for us. So
sorry, may you repeat again?
Yeah, we are inviting you to look at your own culture and to see what in your culture serves life, is life-serving, and what in your culture is not life-serving. There are some things that we do that is not life-serving, and some things that we do that serves life. For example, in India, we have a process of, say, when somebody passes away, an entire community gathers and mourns and helps the family. There's a period of mourning that is fairly followed in most houses, where it becomes very, there's companionship, there's a sense of support, there's a sense of belonging, and that cultural tradition is actually very life-serving. And now in nuclear families where people are far away and everything happens so suddenly, people get back to work the day after they have lost somebody. That is not really serving them, because they hold that grief, and there's no way to really process the grief that they're going through. So that for me would not be life-serving. So similarly, in your culture, is there anything that you think that is life-serving, or that is not life-serving? Maybe give one example, if you can identify. Yes, Barbara.
It was quite easy for me to come up with the life-serving culture, which I think is music, literature, and also marriage, which is, I think, a cultural thing. It's not that easy for me to find the culture features which are not life-serving, but as you were talking, the first one that came to me was, for example, the private swimming pools. Like everybody has the swimming pools in their gardens, but before we used to meet like in the public swimming pools, and it was just much more, the sense of community and meeting together and joy, fun. So this is like the first thing.
Thank you for giving both examples. And when we say music and literature, just to see what in it is life-serving, what really serves life for you.
Well, the music, you can go to a concert and you can have as well, you can meet the needs for joy, for community, for fun, for also spirituality. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else?
Can I make one short comment, Sudha?
Yes,
I just wanted to say what I also enjoyed, Pavla, and what you were describing was something about how cultures are processes that are always moving. So I think sometimes we talk about culture like it's an object, like it's a thing that we can describe, like it doesn't move, but it's always changing. Like you said, 30, 40 years ago, people didn't have private swimming pools very much in the Czech Republic in their backyards. And now something has changed in that culture. And, maybe that has some positive and some negative things, or some ways that it meets some needs and doesn't meet some needs. So I like the complexity of that.
Now, can I say something?
Yes, Foka.
Yeah, culture is not, we always say that culture is not stagnant, and culture evolves, and also culture is overt and covert. And there is one thing in my culture that does not celebrate life, which is, I would try to use the word celebrate life, which is the fact that as long as the eldest sister in the family is not married, the junior sister cannot get married. So marriage, the eldest must get married. If there is another second, the second must get married before the third. So the third girl in the house cannot get married when the first and second are not yet married. And the second cannot get married if the first is not yet married. Now, what if the first is like living a kind of lifestyle that does not attract men? So is that going to penalize the two junior sisters or the junior sisters that she has from getting married?
Foka, is it that you would like choice? You would like freedom to make your choices? You would like everyone in your culture to have the choice at an appropriate time, get married or not get married, and not have conditions imposed on them which are restrictive.
That is not, that's not the actual fact. The actual fact is, it is a culture that if the eldest sister is not yet married, the junior ones cannot get married before her.
Cannot get married.
Yes, they cannot. And so that is not a culture that would actually enhance life.
Yeah.
Yep. So I really invite you to think about this. Kirsten, would you want to add anything to this?
Yeah, I would love to add something because of the places I work, but also in my own country, there's a huge cultural question around cutting females, female genital mutilation, we call it. And it also happens in my country, in Denmark, because we have 15%, almost 1 million people in our country coming from other countries where there is a culture where you cut the girls and the boys. And in my country, it's legal to cut the boys, but not the girls. And what I have understood is that there are many needs not being met by cutting the girls. And there are also some people who would say that it is meeting some needs. So is this a question for me, is it meeting needs the way NVC talks about needs? And how can we meet more needs? How can we take care of life, enrich life, and meet more needs? And for people to have choice. And a culture sometimes decides over me in a way I don't like. I like to have freedom and choice. And I have that in my country. Denmark has a long tradition of democracy and freedom. So there is a lot of these needs being met. And I see other countries where it's very difficult for young girls to have choice about being caught or not, who they marry and when they marry and things like that. And this is my passion in the world, to meet more needs and have a more nonviolent way of living our culture, because culture also can be very helpful if it's meeting needs. Thank you.
We have Ahmed, last person to speak on this topic.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I just want to highlight few elements in our culture that are life-saving and also some non-life-saving elements. For instance, in our culture, one of the good things that we have is the respect for elders. We highly, elders are in our culture are highly respected for their wisdom and experience, and then this is what promotes a sense of stability and continuity within our communities. We do also have social safety nets in our Somali culture. We place great importance on communal support system. So that's also a positive side. But although ethnically we are a bit homogeneous, but we divide our, selfies across clan lines, and that sometimes causes clan rivalries and violences, which is one of the non-life, I think, serving elements in our culture. Also, we do often emphasize on honor. In some cases, we place a bit higher, position in family honor, and that sometimes lead to harmful, practices. We do also have some gender inequality, as Christine mentioned it. FGM has been practicing, the female genital cutting has been practicing for quite long, and although the FGM rate is going down quite drastically nowadays, but that kind of practice is still there, and also, traditional gender roles in our culture can sometimes restrict women's access to education, and even, job opportunities. Those are also some, non-life-saving factors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see Ndidi and Sangwe's hand up, and I'm quite torn. I would love to hear them. What do you say? It means our question and answer time will be a little truncated, will be shortened, but I would love to hear them. So, Ndidi?
Thank you. I'd like to share on two cultures for me that do not serve life very much. One is where parents have a say on who their children marry. And sometimes it can be so strong that when two young people really want to marry and their parents say no, there is no way. Often, it's believed that if they go ahead, that marriage may not work, end up not working. Then another is the preference that my culture gives to male children. Sometimes when a family is looking for a male child and it's only girls, the woman suffers so much. And see, until a male child comes to the family, often happiness in that family is limited. So these are the two that I want to highlight. Thank you.
I thought Sangwe had his hand up, but I see that you put your hand down. So I think we'd like to transition then to the next part of our Samuel. I didn't catch you at last time. Yeah. Samuel,
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is my question. It is not my question, but I want to share. Yeah, when you ask, the first time you ask about what the culture for, something come in my head. I'm come from Congo, from eastern of Congo. On this moment, we have this issue regarding culture. It's a big issue. And the community are against, are against some of the work of international organization, because the people here, it is a big issue now in our area. The people here, they are usually think that the West people, they usually come to destroy our culture. That is a big issue now because they believe that our culture was a united people. Our culture is make us to live in peace. Now, when we welcome like the culture from the West, we found a lot of division. In our culture, we found a lot was not divorce. Divorce was like a was bad things. But after many training, I'm just like think from out of our culture, we found a lot of divorce. Now, community now, they are fighting. It is an issue. We don't want to destroy our culture because of this culture from out of our border. It is a big issue in our area, because like here, even I was thinking, in my head, I was thinking about we have a good culture. Like I see the other people are sharing about the culture to respect elders. It is our cultures. Other people was sharing about how, okay, yeah. It is for me, I was thinking that we had a good culture, but after some time, through this many international organizations, most of our culture was destroyed. Yeah, it is a big issue in a religious issue, community issue, how to restore, to come back to our culture, because we don't want to lose our culture, because our culture is our identity. Sorry, because I'm talking a lot, but it's a big issue now in Congo. How to return to our culture.
What I'm hearing, Samuel, is that you think that your culture is good, and that in some way it's important to preserve it, and all the good points in it, all the good aspects of it.
Yeah, we have a we have a good culture.
Diluted because of influence from the West through international organizations. Yeah. So I'm hearing
that is people they are fighting to eat if we can return to our culture.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to transition to the next part of our. Thank you for the sharing, all of you. I think it's rich just to hear all your viewpoints. And
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's time to transition to the question and answer session. And if you have any questions and answers, questions about the IIT that we are organizing in Kenya, please leave it open to you to ask. Yes,
Anne, I see your hand.
Thank you
Matthew.
so much for offering this session. My impression is that many people in the NVC Africa network who might be interested did not manage to join for different reasons. And one of them, according to my perception, is that the sessions were very close to each other in time. And I'm wondering if you as a team would be willing to offer another small series of short sessions to get more interest, because, for example, there are more people in the Francophone community who would also be interested and see if this could be valuable for them. And I guess they've all missed it so far. Yeah. So that's a question to you as a team about question and answer sessions or some teaser session to help people understand what an IIT is, what the conditions are, and what the content is, what they could benefit. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. That's a really, really helpful question, I think, or observation. I have a couple of thoughts. I mean, I think the first thing is, I think we can certainly discuss offering some more calls. If I can imagine that might be helpful. I think the reason we've had a bunch of them together, and maybe that's helpful for people to know, is that the early bird is coming to an end on the 8th of January, and we've sort of been wanting to encourage people to get through the door as much as possible before that date, which is true for people who are financial assistance applicants, or for people who are paying their advantages to them coming then. It also gives us an idea of how many people we're working with, or a first impression. I get the point that I think it might be helpful to offer some further events. I'm also hearing what you're saying about how it might be helpful to provide more of a sense of what an IIT is like, or what happens at an IIT, because it is, I think, for people who haven't experienced that before, it might be quite difficult to imagine. And I'm wondering, maybe there are people here who would find that helpful too.
Thank you, Matthew. I would like to hear from others what they think of the idea, who are now in the call.
Is there anything that you would like to know about the IIT itself that would help you make a decision on joining us? That would give you some ease.
That's a question to everybody, I guess.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I want to, Mary Rose. I want to check about timing. It said 4th to 13th. Am I right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, 4th to 14th. So that would be arrival 14th and departure from the meeting place 13th, or the following day.
No, so normally, and what will happen here, normally with an IIT, we will start in the afternoon and we will finish at lunchtime. So that means it's possible to arrive and to leave on those days.
Okay. That if we finished in the afternoon and somebody has a need to leave the place the following morning.
Yeah.
How is that the place find a place?
So I think that's that is something which could happen, because for some reasons it might not be possible to travel on that afternoon. There might not be transport available, might not be safe, whatever the situation is. I think that's certainly something which you could take up with the organizers. I think and maybe this also relates a little bit to what Jennifer, I see you asking in the chat, saying that there's a lot of interest. You're very interested. You're concerned about how this can be affordable. And again, I think I would encourage you, if you haven't done this, to apply, to pre-register, and to indicate if you need financial assistance, that you will need financial assistance, and then the organizers will follow up with you. So there's a process to explore with the organizers what you are able to pay or what you aren't able to pay, and that we can think about how to provide support. There is support available, and quite a number of participants at this IIT will be receiving assistance to be there. So I would encourage you to apply and to start engaging if you haven't. And if you have applied and requested financial assistance, and you haven't, it's still unclear to you what the process is. I know that emails have gone out to applicants in the last 2 weeks, but if it's still unclear to you, I would encourage you to contact the organizer so that they can help to explore with you what's possible. And I'd say that applies also to things like the transport system.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Matthew.
Just one quick one.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know what time should we wait so that we can reach out to the organizer to ask for I'm talking about the financial assistance. So how long should we wait so that we can reach out to the organizer to ask how the financial assistance is going?
Okay. So I would say somewhere, if you have.
Did you receive me?
I did hear you. Yes. So I would say if you have pre-registered and you've requested financial assistance, you should have received an email in the last 2 weeks asking you for more information about what you need. If you haven't received that email and you think that you've applied for financial assistance, then I would encourage you to email them directly to pick that up. Kirsten, there may be something to add?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to add that I put in the chat 2 links. One is the link to the event, and the second link is to the tuition prices. And I want to call your attention to this sliding scale. You can say there are very low prices for Africans if you have a low salary, less than $300 per month. The fee we're asking you to pay is only $15. And I say only because for other, it's a lot more they are asking. And I'm aware that $15 is maybe not an only in your budget. But I encourage you to look at the price list, and there is a special discount now until the 8th of January. So the link is in the chat.
Yeah. But I would say make contact with the organizers sooner rather than later if you're wanting to be there.
Maybe I could add something. The first step, Sangwe, is to pre-register, what we call pre-register. You go to the site and then you register and say, I'm interested in it. You will get a mail back from CNVC saying, here is what you do next, which is you register and you make your payment. And then there is a column there that says, if you need financial assistance, click on this box. And you click on that box, and then it will take you further. It will ask you a few questions, and then the organizers will get back to you. So it's there immediately as soon as you register. You can ask for financial assistance.
And I want to add, I put another link in the chat. If any one of you have extra resources, extra money, or know somebody who have extra money, we are actually collecting money. So there's a link to our fundraiser also. If you like to support this event in happening and support people with less money, you are very warmly invited to donate some money so we can give the scholarships to those who ask for it. Thank you.
I have a bit of an improvisational idea. And I'm putting you on the spot, and it's a request, Ndidi, that you can certainly say no to. But I've heard this, I thought maybe to get a sense of what an IIT is like, it might be helpful if you want to say a little bit about your experience at the recent Nigeria IIT as an organizer, one of the lead organizers and a participant. That might help to give people a bit of a flavor of what they can expect. Obviously, every IIT is different, but I'm wondering if you'd be willing to do that.
Thank you, Matthew. Yes, I participated in the IIT in Nigeria, and also was one of the lead organizers. It was, for me, a life-changing experience. As the organizers, we arrived before the time. We started work the very day the IIT began. But before that, we did some preliminary. Just the trainers, Matthew and his team there, and we too came. So outside, the first day is registration and all that. It's very important that you arrive within the time so that you do the registration. And in that way, you go with the flow, because straight after the registration, you have a welcome call. The session just flows. And it is that intensive. It's an intensive training, and it is intensive, well organized. Before the time, the trainers have planned the sessions so that each day there is something for you, to engage in. And it is continuous. There's a flow till the end. And like each day, 4 trainers, run concurrently. So you just have to be somewhere and you follow through. There's also room for choices and everything. But at the end of the day, you gain so much. Each trainer is different, just as we're different, but they're all rich, and experience, full of experience. No IIT is the same. I had attended one in Kenya, and what I met in Nigeria was different. So they plan it to suit the context. What I had in Nigeria suited us. The conflicts and all that. This present state of Nigeria. So all I want to say is that I enjoyed it. We bonded. There were about 80 of us. Participants were about 73. The first few days was bonding. When you come to a training like that where you have not met with people, sometimes people drag their feet. But give us 2 days. 2 days, there was a lot of bonding, freedom. People began to relate closely. And at the end of the day, we're all friends. Now we're all talking NVC. No more individuals, but we're all running towards the same goal. So, what do I say? It is rich. Many different aspects of NVC were touched. And you continue. That's why I'm here. It's still like the excitement of Nigeria IIT that's pulling me to Kenya IIT. Thank you. Don't miss it, because I have not missed any since then. Thank you.
Thank you, Didi. Any final questions people are sitting with? I only have a couple of minutes left. Okay. Kirsten, Sudha, any final thoughts from you before we wrap up?
All I'd say is join us. It's a wonderful experience, and it's I can sort of guarantee that it will be meaningful to all of us and valuable. So, with a lot of hope that I'll see many of you there. That's me.
Yeah, I agree with Sudha. And I think it's a place to learn the nonviolent way of living with our differences, to coexist in a world with a lot of different people, with a lot of different ideas about what life should be like and what is the good life. So the nonviolent way of coexisting with all the different people we are on this planet so we can live in peace. That's my invitation to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten. And yeah, I'll just say I really enjoyed having this time together with those of you who were here. And I hope that I will be able to see many of you in person and get to know you more and shake your hands. And Karabusana, you're very, very welcome. And we're really looking forward to meeting you in Nairobi. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you. Good day.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye to everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Nice time.
Be safe and well.
Thank you.